Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 and ballyspring. Right, so we're in October. We skipped through a couple of days. We've even got a pumpkin. Nice little touch to the map. But yeah, we're early morning on October day 1 and a lot has actually changed. I've also been really busy behind the scenes like I said I would be. I did plant in some of the grass fields. I've also made sure that I've limed all the fields that I could. Pretty much set up to the point where I could skip to October day 1. So I'll just give you a really quick update on that. If we go to precision farming first, it's probably going to give me a better way of showing you exactly what I've done. So these 2 grass fields here are limed and I've replanted in the grass seeds. Was going to roll them, but then I noticed that I have got a mod that says that some mods don't require rolling. I think grass is a part of that because it didn't say that I needed to roll. So we haven't rolled these and we haven't rolled 150. That's also a grass field, so I've also spread obviously the lime in that and replanted in my grass. So that's actually grown now to the first growth stage. So all I need to do with these fields is probably just fertilise really, but I am going to try and be a bit cheeky and put a weeder in there just for a brief second just to see if I can make the score for, you know, the weed control score shoot up in these grass fields. Moving on to my 2 crop fields now that are going to be soybeans. This one we mulched and pretty much it didn't have anything in it. It was a harvested state when we started. I've spread lime in that and that's exactly where I'm at. So the fields itself, we've got 2 grazing fields here we don't need to do anything with. This is now changed because it's where we store the bales. But we have got 151, 147, 142 and 146 that are grass fields that we need to start mowing as soon as possible. Now that I'm in October, really the grass isn't probably going to hit that extra full length like it normally does on this map where you see that the grass is dead long. So I'm going to cut it in the state it's in now. We're going to try and multitask in this episode. We're going to set some course plays going and a few things I want to do. We're going to try and fertilise as well because these are in the first stages of growth. We may as well get some solid fertiliser down in the grass fields because that's the plan with our grass. We're going to use liquid fertiliser in any crop field but solid fertiliser for the grass fields. So in this episode, yeah, we're going to basically multitask, spread some fertiliser. We're going to mow as much as we can. It's a big task because these are 4 pretty big grass fields. They're not, you know, small ones. They're big enough to take a long time, so we'll just try and work our way through that. Now, I'm not 100% certain what I'm going to do with the grass yet. I don't know if I'll keep it, I don't know if I'll sell it, just because I don't know if I'll need that much, and I am thinking just to make silage, keep some of it, but sell the majority of it, because we need money. We really do. And money is changed quite a bit, because I did take out a loan of 25,000. I placed in just over here, if I just go quickly show you, just over here. One of these will make me, that's the one we want, there we go. Yeah, so over here where I'm storing my bales, I put one of these in. It was only £1,000 because the mod, that's how much it costs for the mod, which is pretty helpful right now. But I did put some lime in this, so it's going to be easier than getting big bags, which I did state I'd probably do. So I've got 29,000 litres of lime in there. I took out a £25,000 loan, and I leased out a bigger spreader, which is just at the front here. So that's got a bit of lime in still, and we are going to use that for the next, obviously, few fields that we're going to start working on now. We're doing pretty well. We're probably about halfway, I'd say, when it comes to fields. We sorted 1, 2, 3, and 4. So yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So yeah, we're about halfway. Got quite a bit of planting to do. Soybeans we need to plant, but we've got to work this grass field first. That one's waiting for that. This one's going to be maize, so we just need to work the grass field. This one's all done. Just got, as you can tell, I've got some weeds, so we're going to tackle that today because they are small, so we need to try and get onto that pretty quick so we don't have to do any herbicide, which is ideal. And it's good because the tram lines have grown, so we'll, yeah, have a quick look at that. But let's go set up a course play. Let's go try and get this sorted with this mower. We'll probably start on the furthest field away. This one here, this field, is probably going to be something I tackle because there is a few objects in. Now, I know Courseplay has the feature to go around in the fields if it detects something, but I just don't know if it's going to detect them as something it needs to, yeah, manoeuvre around. So we'll have to have a quick look at that. But first off, let's go, yeah, set this up because I've got to start working on these grass fields. You can see on the left of me that they're not fully grown. I mean, you can just see to the right here, this patch. That's what the grass pretty much should be like when it's fully grown, but no, we're not quite there. And this, well, obviously was the canola field that we started off with, which we do need to sell, but we're not quite there yet for the price. That's been planted. pH is perfect. It's just nitrogen that we're going to sort out in this episode. This mower can be a bit of a pain on these lanes. It really can. It's right on the limit. It really is. And that's what it folded as well. So, interesting. Yeah, it's not, even this one, like, it's not a small field really, but it's one of our smallest when it comes to the grass field, so it just goes to show that, yeah, we're going to need to get busy with these fields because it's going to take a lot of effort to really sort out. So let's just get Courseplay up and see what we can do with this. I'm hoping that it'll work a treat. If we do 3-4 headlands, just because I find that it works a bit better, I'm going to up the overlap on this one because I don't want to miss bits, and I'm finding that I am missing quite a lot of bits. But if I up the overlap a bit more, that should cut down on that. I'll still get some points where it is. If we do put it to sharp, that might help because we are going to row this field after because we're going to be doing silage. We're not going to do any more hay, we're just going to do silage. Skip a row. We'll probably skip one row just because of the way this is angled. I'm just trying to think if that's the best thing. It might be better to do lands on this one because of the way it's heading over the edge. And we'll just put 0.2 now. Let's see how that performs. I'm hoping that's much better. Fingers crossed anyway. This feels good as well because it's not really that uphill, so it shouldn't take too much of the tractor to get through this. I'm hoping anyway. Right, so let's see what this. We'll have to just keep an eye on it and just see how it performs. Like I said, the grass isn't fully grown, but it's close enough. Close enough. You can see that it's it still says stage 3, but I think that's because I've got the mod on where I can harvest. Oh, we don't want fresh grass, so let's just stop that again. Always forget about that. We want to condition it, so with conditioner please, and start from the first waypoint. Let's just see how she performs now. Yeah, it's doing it right. We're just missing a little bit there, you can see. But there we go. It seems to get more grass as well when we condition it. So there we go. We'll leave that to do its thing, and we'll jump over to probably... Yeah, let's get in the John Deere. Let's start off this fertilizer, because we're going to use probably the... I'm trying to think with the weeder. It's an uphill battle, really, for that. So we'll use the biggest tractor we've got. I think that's probably the best bet to do. I'm just trying to figure it out. Yeah, why not? We'll use it. The Vulture's probably the best option. And then we'll get to spreading this fur. I'm just trying to figure out where I've parked. I think I did put it away over here, didn't I? We're not going to use this big tool for solid fit because it won't run out as quick. There we go. There she is. Because I am playing a realistic series, I did see a comment that said, I'm surprised you're not using the manual attach. Now, I do use that quite a lot. Have used it predominantly on most of my series, but recently, especially with Survival, I took it off that and I've taken it. I didn't start with it on this just because I thought it'd be easier, but I do agree that I do miss it because of the Farmland series. I enjoy using it on that, so I thought, why not? Let's stick it on. So we are using the manual attachment mod again. Now, what should we go with? Nitrogen or sulfur? It all has the same effect, but again, it's obviously more realistic to try and alter between putting nitrogen and sulfur on the ground. A lot of the time it's either that or... What are we doing here? Are we getting... We only want the one. There we go. We got it. That's easy enough. And we have got to put away some of the grass seeds as well, but I just wanted to show you that mod because it really is a cracking mod. So after we've done this, before we set it going, I'll quickly just show you what I'm on about with this mod, because yeah, dead impressed with it. I am. One of the best mods. And that website as well. I don't know if you've been following me for a while on my channel, but when I did the Chellington Valley series on FS19, I used to rave about the John Deere pack. I used to say John Deere pack's amazing, and it is absolutely brilliant, but it's finally back out. So if you go on to LSFM, I think it's just LS there, lsfarming-mods.com website where Hofbergman is. There's the John Deere pack, which is technically this. Now the tractors in this honestly are highly detailed. You have a dashboard inside that's fully working, as in, you know, you get a lot of feedback from it, and they have all the John Deeres. So it's pretty much a must-have mod in my case. The pack itself, honestly, it's definitely something I would download if you're a John Deere fan. And I'm not the biggest John Deere fan, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, that is one of my go-to mods on FS19. I used to love it. So I am glad that it's out, and I will be using it hopefully as soon as I get a bit of cash to buy something. But we have got this John Deere. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the best in the world, but it'll do the job. Right, so this is what I wanted to show you. So obviously we've been using this mod that you buy seeds, whatever the seed type is whatever the crop is. Now I can't change it, I can't switch between, because obviously it's realistic in that sense. But if we bring up the F1 menu, what I really do like, and I want you to just keep an eye out on this side over here for an icon to switch up. So you get the option when unloading what you want to unload in. So right now it's saying switch unload mode between pallets and big bags. So if we just press Alt and Q, you can see how it's come up with the symbol telling you what you're going to unload as. So you've got two types of big bags. I think them ones hold 2,000 litres, whereas the other ones hold 1,000. So I probably want to go with this one because I've got over 1,000. So if I then now unload, that didn't work, did it? Ah, the joys, the joys. Let's try that again. It's got to have been something I was doing wrong. It's got to be. Definitely has. Let's try that one more time. Oh man, that's interesting. We'll load it back up and we'll get this right. I promise you. It's probably me understanding the unload grab between pallets and big bags. I get it now. I get it. So basically, I've got to go to. So if we press Alt Q, we are on big bags. And then if I press Alt and I can switch between the type of big bags. That's it. So I've got big bag 1, big bag 2, for example. There you go. So finally, we've got ourselves a big bag there. So yeah, I just like that because it shows you the icon of what you're trying to unload first of all, which is obviously useful. Ooh, just park that away because we're going to need it. Just like I've left the disc arrow there. But yeah, I think that's a nice little touch. It just shows, you know, scripts like that, they're not easy to do within mods, but for Farmer Andy, it's obviously simple enough, and yeah, I think it improves little bits like that just to help out, don't they? So let's just quickly put this away, because we're going to need grass seeds again. It's crazy to think that I did have 2 pallets, and I'm literally just about over 1 left. I've used 1 pallet, 1,000 litres. Luckily though, they are only planting in at standard rate. So not like the was it wheat we were doing for the whole crop. That was coming out at well, the most you can have. So yeah, We'll leave that there. We might have to buy more, but at the end of the day, I am leasing out quite a bit of equipment, and I am using the mod lease to buy. So my aim is, if we do like some of the items we're obviously leasing out, each repayment that we're making is going to take off the price if we do want to buy it, which is obviously really useful as well. So yeah, we'll have to try and play it like that and just see where we go. Hopefully, like I said, we'll pick up quite a lot of kit from leasing first. We've got a bit of money in the bank now because I've taken out a loan, so that's going to help us out when it comes to buying, you know, anything like feed-wise. I don't think we'll need much feed, but if it comes to stuff like seeds and anything along that line, so we should have a bit of cash. But I'm hoping to make a bit from this silage. I think that's probably the safest and most, you know, reasonable thing to do now would be to make a lot of silage and sell it, because I think traditionally silage usually comes in around January time. This guy got stuck. I think he might have. Yeah, I think he's definitely got stuck. Yes. Not good, not good. Where did you stop there? That's very strange, very strange. So what? We're gonna have to change this up, aren't we? Let's sort this out. Let's go to 6 headlands. Same kind of thing. I mean, you can see it's more headlands than anything else there, but you know, if it's the way to sort this out, let's just do it. I mean, the hedges are a problem, especially with this mower. It's a beast when it comes to this size tractor. You know, it is quite a hefty thing to have hanging over the side. I think I'm on the wrong way of that. Yeah, it is quite a hefty thing to have hanging over the side, really, but it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it doesn't matter how this looks, as long as it's all mowed. We are going to be rowing it up after. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Yeah, that's fine. So first waypoint, off you go, and please don't have an issue this time. Hopefully you'll be alright. So basically I was just saying about that mod, really useful, nice to have that kind of feature, and I do think, you know, if you're interested in playing a bit more realistic, definitely check that out, especially if you're on PC, because yeah, it's a cracking mod. Right, let's go set this up then. Definitely need to start this fertilizer on the go. 800, hopefully won't run out too soon. If I can get each field done off one full load, then I'm happy with that. I did leave the roller down here thinking that I'd need to roll this field, but then I noticed I didn't need to, so I've left it just because I know I'm probably going to need it for that field, especially the crop ones. I do like that mod though, because it makes it definitely more realistic, especially with things like root crops, where you know the different kind of rows that are left, the ground. You shouldn't be rolling over that, so, and you shouldn't have to lose, obviously, some of the potential yield because of it. So the good thing about that mod, it literally just gets rid of that, so that's good to see. So probably only need one headland, let's be honest. It's a beefy tool in itself, and smooth will be fine. Don't really need anything else along them lines. Yeah, why not? Look at that, easy, absolutely easy. This will probably be finished before we've even sorted out anything, to be honest, when it comes to the weeder, or even got to the field. But we're getting through things, and that's the main thing. How are we doing for fuel? Yeah, we're alright. So let's go and get this weeder out. Now, it's going to be a task, this is, because of the fact I'm going uphill, but I'm hoping it'll work better than me planting with that 3-metre direct seeder, because obviously that requires a bit of power. It's taking something from the PTO, whereas this is manual. It's literally just, you drop it down, you go up and downhill. I'm hoping that we'll have a bit of an easier life with it. But while the weeds are small, it's important that I get this done. It'll improve our yields, but also we'll have two positives really. We'll have a better environmental score, not maximum because we're not using the spot spraying. But the problem with spot spraying is you still use herbicide, which has a negative effect on yield, and I think it's about 15%. So by using this manual tool, it has technically the best effect on my yield, but also improves my environmental score. Now I'm happy with having like like an 80, for example, environmental score overall, and I still think that gives me a decent enough increase in turnover that I can obviously get. It's got stuck again up there, that mower has. I'm not entirely sure why it feels it needs to turn so much. So I think the best thing to do is just get the headland done. Start on the headland, and we'll have to finish off anything that it doesn't do manually. Even if we just do 6 head... What about us doing 8 headlands and overlapping to 25%? I've never done this before, but it might just leave a tiny bit in the middle, and we want to start work on the headland. There we go. This time, if it gets stuck, well, we need to change our worker, don't we? Clearly they're having an hard time of it. We'll get there, we'll get there. I also think we should probably... Let's just see if we can make this a little bit better because of the overlap. If we start counterclockwise, but bring the field in to about 1, and I'm hoping that I'll take into account maybe 1.2, the size of our tool, and not hit the hedge, but also mean that we are getting all the way without me going round it again. That's just bringing extra work for me. Not easy, really isn't, to try and suss this out. So far we're alright. I know them gates haven't got collisions on, so that's good. Will you get stuck? That's the question. Yeah. Really doesn't like this. It really doesn't. I'm not going to give in, though. I'm definitely not going to give in. I think I need to change it to smooth. Let's try it again. We can do this, honestly. It's an awkward place to start, but we'll give it a go. Well, let's just see what happens now, because it's not... I just hope it doesn't swing around. There we go. Right, it looks like the fertilizer guy is already finished, so let's just check that in precision farming. Yep, you can see that's good. So we're going to go to 148. We may as well just keep sorting this out. In fact, you know what we could do? We could try and use a bit of auto drive here. So let's target there. Open up a course, 1 meter again, smooth, and that's fine with me. And we want it to go to 148. So if we go back out, make sure it's on first waypoint, which it is, and we bring up this field 148. Course plate go. Should, when it gets there, start it off, and I just hope it doesn't see anything along the way, which means it's going to collide. We'll have to make sure we just keep an eye out on the map best we can. We're getting there. We are, slowly. They're still going. That's a good sign. What are they doing? Moving so far. There we go. Now, luckily, we're not going to do any damage, so it doesn't really matter about the tyres we're using. And if you have a look, it says there, required tyres. All tyres and tracks basically means that we're not going to do anything, but the good thing about it, weeds is just small, so this should get rid of all the weeds. Now, it's going to be difficult to see what I'm doing because of the fact that, yeah, it's just going to be really difficult to see what I'm doing because of the fact that I'm not changing the ground texture that much, so I'm going to have to use GPS for this, which probably means that I'll do about 2 headlands, try and hope that I've kind of judged it well, and then we'll see about whereabouts we are. Yeah, it's definitely important that I do this, and you can see we are removing some of the weeds there. Weird. It's weird how it's taking away that grass as if that grass texture is weeds as well. That's a new one. Never seen that before. So far, so good. If we just... in fact, we could probably carry on. Let's just have a quick look, see how everyone's moving around. Yep, they've got stuck there, so let's see what that's about. It's that baler again. This baler really does have a collision that's not... He doesn't like it. So I'm just going to swing that there for a second. There we go. Happy days. Right, so what I've decided is I've set the weeder as a course play, and we're going to manually do the fertilizing. I think it's going to be easier to do. Definitely as easy to do. You can see the texture better, and we may as well use the course play for that one because we know we're not going to miss anything. And we'll also take over with a bit of the mowing. I'm not going to do all the mowing probably in this episode, just because, yeah, it's a big task in itself, but I am going to work away at it. We've technically got until, I'd say, January. Let's just confirm this, but I'm sure it is January when silage is... Where are you, silage? Grass silage. Yeah, January's the best time to sell. So we've got till January for it to ferment, really. So there's no rush with it. I just know we probably need to get some of them grass fields mowed, really, so we can start planting in. The ones at the bottom where we're going to do cropping, we've got a little bit more time. That's why I've started mowing the ones at the top, just because I know they're going to be something we, yeah, need probably sooner to get working on. Yeah, just because of that. So let's crack on. Let's get some of this done. We'll get everything fertilised that we can, and then we'll see about where we're at with the weeder and the mowing. Right, so welcome back. We've done quite a bit. I am pretty chuffed with how much I got through. There is obviously a lot still to do. This whole prep work for this farm was always going to be a bit of a task, but we're chipping away at it. So let's just have a bit of a recap then of what we've got through. So you can tell that this field's been mowed and rowed, so that's all done. So let's work our way down because we're going to need to sort this out. So we'll set them up at least for the next part. That field there is all fertilised, so all the grass fields that I wanted to fertilise are done. The weeding has been done as well, so Corsair did a pretty decent job of that, never had one issue. Whereas the rowing and the mowing was a bit of a pain. I did take over the rowing right at the end just because it got stuck again, and I obviously finished off as well the mowing in here, which actually worked pretty well. I actually like using this mower, but as you can tell, that's all mowed, so that needs rowing as well. So we'll have two fields done and the grass fields as well, so we can get to work on them, because we're going to need to disc harrow these, we're going to need to spread lime, then we're going to try and obviously put some fertilizer down, weed it, all that kind of stuff to try and get the environmental score on these grass fields all set. Let's have a look at this then. You can see that no damage was done, which is good. The trem lines are actually looking pretty decent as well, and if we open up our menu, we can have a look to see if there's any weeds left, which there isn't, so that's pretty decent as well. So that field's set, just need fertilizer on that. All the weeds have been taken care of. I'm happy with that. And if we have a look at this, I like this seed rate information page because it shows you where I've been planting in for the grass fields, because obviously with me going onto this, it doesn't show me any information of the growing or anything because of the fact that, well, it's always ready to harvest. So if I put grass on, just always ready to harvest, so it doesn't really give me much information. Whereas if I go to this, you can see that I've planted into these three. We're going to plant into them two first after we've done the bales. Same with these two, but we're not in a bit of a rush for that. So yeah, we've done a bit. There is still loads to do. I haven't shown you the animals, so I'll just give you a quick update on the animals. The feed is fine. This grazing mod is working a treat, probably making me think that maybe I don't actually need as much feed as I probably thought I did, which is good, but the grass is running out. So at some point over the winter months, the calves especially, these we're going to have to look at. This feed's going to go down. If there's a lot of feed in this, what I'll do is I have to move the cows back out into this field just to try and consume some of that, depending on where we're at for feed. I do want to try and keep this 100%, so TMR mix, but technically at the moment we couldn't do a TMR mix because we're not going to do the base game TMR, even if it means I can cut corners. I'm not going to do hay, silage, straw, for example, or even just hay and silage. We are going to do the maize plus TMR mixes, so obviously we're going to need a bit more, because I think the minimum we need is maize, grass silage anyway, so we haven't got any maize. So yeah, it's a bit of a task, but we're definitely going to try and keep it as close to the 100 we can, but at least we've got hay and silage just in case. But yeah, you can see that they're quite happy, plenty left. If we just jump over to this field, you can see what I mean. The grass has got low. There isn't much left on this one. They are grazing through it. This field over here, however, hasn't gone down in texture, but it is being consumed, so that's a bit of a strange one. I'll have to ask Mark why he thinks that is, but you can tell that, yeah, this is still full. I don't know if it's because it starts consuming from that first, then this. I don't know how it's been set up, but we'll have a quick look eventually just to see what's going on with this one. But the main thing is the cows and the sheep have got food. So in between this episode and the next one, I am going to mow 142 and 146. I'm going to row it all up, so hopefully by the start of the next episode I'll have 4 grass fields all rowed up to start baling. And what I'm thinking of doing is leasing out maybe one of the new DLC balers, just to have a test out with it, just to try it out, see what it's like. Maybe even one of the grabs and even the wrapper. Let's just try it out, see what they're like while we got the chance. I think that'll be a good idea. But on that note, I am going to leave the video there. I think we've done quite a lot. There is, like I said, loads still to do. But I am enjoying this playthrough using Precision Farming and Maize Plus. And eventually we'll get onto the pumps and hoses when I've got a bit more money to kind of upgrade. Right now I thought I'd go through the other features and proceed and all that, and then move on to that eventually. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up, because it does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one. on Farming Simulator.